2025 was a crazy year. There were so many twists, turns, and surprises. It felt more like being on an amusement park ride that we Frankensteined together from the most disorienting, insane roller coasters out there. One moment, we're screaming at the top of our lungs. The next, we're laughing like madmen. And what else is there to do when the Coldplay Kiss Cam is the new cheater show exposing CEOs instead of average Joes? And we've become aware that we're living through the collapse of modern day Rome. Grandiose narcissism is on full display for the world to see. Policy is sold to the highest corporate bidder. Elites rule the working class while diddling kitties as a hobby. American tax dollars are funding concentration camps in foreign countries as citizens can't afford food or rent. And the Patriot Games, paired with the agenda of Project 2025, sounds more like the beginning of real life Hunger Games than a country that actually wants the best for its citizens. This is the bar that has been set for what it means to be great again. I really could go on, but I'll leave it there. Are we having fun, or are we so far detached that the chaos that's unfolding around us is the only thing reminding us that we are, in fact, still alive? We are currently on a floating rock covered in water, hurtling through space at over 1,000,000 miles per hour. Yet, we spend our time hating each other because of labels we made up and borders that we drew in blood, while working for made-up numbers in a bank account and staring at a screen for hours on end while calling it living. I don't know what you have been feeling, but I have honestly felt like time is accelerating towards something uncertain that has the potential to be revolutionary or devastating. A major shift is knocking on our door, and what's waiting for us on the other side is our choice to make. What are we inviting in? The air has been smelling a bit funky lately, like someone shit their pants thinking no one would notice. Oh wait, it's the bullshit spewing from those in charge, clogging up the toilet with everything humanity needs to release down the drain in order to heal and evolve. When are we going to learn how to wipe and flush away what does not serve our well-being? We are losing our minds, fearing the winds of change and taking it out on the world around us, rather than embracing one another in warmth and love as we go through this together. Change is inevitable. The only constant in life is change. It's going to happen regardless. The year is now 2026, and I'm going to tell you why this is the year that you need to become a dangerous person. Welcome to the Electric Honeypot Project, where energy is the nectar of life. In this hive, we understand that energy does not lie, but people sometimes do. Join the collective as we advocate for truth, liberty, and justice for all. I'm your host, Autumn, and I wrote this message right from my soul. I am grateful that you are here giving my creativity a chance, giving my voice a chance to be heard. I fully understand how valuable your time, energy, and attention are as resources, and I am very grateful and appreciative that you have chosen to spend them here with me, even if it's just for this present moment. Let's have a conversation. 2026 is the year dangerous people step into greater power than ever before. No, I'm not talking about the lizard people pulling the strings behind the curtain in the shadowy corner of the room, or man-children with access to nuclear codes. I'm not talking about the churches claiming to worship a man of love while preaching hatred, judgment, and fear from their platforms. I'm not even talking about crazy Billy Bob with an arsenal and mini supermarket in his basement that pops a hard on at the thought of marching in his 5 or 6 generations back great granddaddy's Confederate boots. I'm talking about being the kind of dangerous that even those people are desperate to protect themselves from. Think Neo from The Matrix, but instead of your superpowers consisting of combat skills, stopping bullets, and flying, you have the most powerful gift of all: the sound of your voice. You have the power to cut through illusions and the false matrix with the power of truth and authentic self-expression. Why do you think they are banning books, cutting journalism, hiding information, and silencing whistleblowers? They understand how powerful your voice is. Our voices are. Reading, writing, and speaking are forms of resistance. Creating art is a rebellion that threatens to expose secrets they intend to keep hidden until their agenda is already fulfilled. Let me tell you something about narcissism. There is only one thing in this world a narcissist hates more than themselves. Don't be fooled by their grandiose behavior and bragging. They do that for external validation because deep down, they feel worthless or empty without the display of their ego. They have to hurt and control others because their ego hurts and controls them. Their ego is a bottomless pit, swallowing up their ability to feel anything but anger, hatred, and fear. They attempt to fill it with possessions, money, and sex, but it's never enough. Genuine worth comes from within, not how much someone has or the amount of people circle jerking what they're doing. I know how these types of people operate, being the black sheep scapegoat of a narcissistic family system. And the one thing that they hate more than anything else is a person that uses their voice to speak out in defiance by telling the truth. The truth teller has the ability to see straight through them, and people don't like it when you can see through them because that's dangerous. Their voice, the truth teller's voice, could topple the kingdom the narcissist built upon a foundation of lies, manipulation, if only their voice can rally an army of truth seekers behind them. This is why the narcissist needs a scapegoat to blame problems on. They rally their flying monkeys against their target like they're the Wicked Witch of Oz, out for Dorothy and her little dog, too. The people that preach hatred and fear against other human beings are showing you exactly what their insides are truly like. Don't let them tell you the horrific ways they treat people and the inhumane things they support are evidence of their faith in God. If their faith in God is really so strong, why do they feel the need to control everyone and the world around them? I'll tell you, it's not really about God. It's about power, control, and the dehumanization of other human beings to establish their own false sense of superiority. Their spiritual connection has been severed through idolatry, institutions, and propaganda designed to maintain a hierarchy that prevents the empowerment of the human race. The people of this world that wield real power use their power to empower others. Real power is not threatened by the power of others. Real power doesn't have to hide behind guns and armies for safety, but fear does. Real power stands for righteousness, even if it stands alone with a target drawn across its back. Faith is not being saved through belief alone. It's about taking action. True faith is being fearless to shine in empathy, compassion, and truth in a world that's overflowing with darkness, eager to taint your heart. Jesus, a dead man, is not coming back from the grave to save you, no matter what you believe. It's just a ruse to keep you complicit and docile as your soul is shackled by material chains. German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche believed that God is a human construct designed to trick humanity into accepting their own suffering with the promise of a paradise afterworld as a reward. He proposed the concept of the Übermensch, which translates to Superman or Beyond Man in English. He viewed this as a goal for humanity to set for itself, to embody the human ideal for all people here on earth, rather than blindly following the teachings and leadership of those promising otherworldly fulfillment. Before you ignorantly hop on the Nietzsche was a Nazi train, I encourage you to do some research of your own. After his death, his German ultra-nationalist sister stole, edited, and plagiarized his unpublished works to support her ideology. Nietzsche was very vocal about opposing anti-Semitism and nationalism. He had previously criticized his sister and her husband for their ideals before she became his caretaker after his mental health declined. This left him vulnerable. A great philosophical mind with humanitarian ideals was twisted to support an authoritarian agenda in the same fashion as the teachings of Christ. The return of Christ is the return of his consciousness within the people. The same consciousness that flipped the tables of greed, exploitation, and thievery. The same consciousness that befriended outcasts and sinners, believing they were worthy of mercy and forgiveness over sacrifice and condemnation. He believed showing them love would light the way towards a path of transformation. You catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar, right? How sweet are thy words? What is happening in the United States and abroad in many places is not about the love and light of God. It is spiritual sickness fueled by religious and racial delusion. I do not label myself as a Christian. My spirituality cannot be forced into such a small, limited box. However, I draw many references from Christianity as it is part of my personal background as much as it is a current driving force of propaganda within this country. If Christianity works for you and you aren't using it as a tool to curse and control others without turning a blind eye to those claiming to be Christian that do, then wonderful. I may disagree with you, but I'm happy for you. My issue is when you use your personal beliefs to create oppression and wish harm on others, or hold your tongue when your fellow believers do. Christianity drove me away from my personal spiritual connection as it enabled narcissism within my family in the very ways I see it enabling narcissism within our leadership today. People flock to religion like sheep during uncertainty and become blinded by the smoke and mirrors of self-serving false leaders. The wool is pulled over their eyes so they can't even see that their shepherds are marching them straight into a slaughterhouse. They become trauma bonded through love bombing and gaslighting during their moments of vulnerability. As Jesus taught, healthy people do not need doctors. Sick people do. Rather than finding a true healer, many people have found indoctrination into a cult of distorted personality, using God's name in vain to carry out acts of ego fueled by trauma. Jesus' real name was Yeshua. He rebelled peacefully through his teachings, calling for followers to question religious institutions and government authority over their lives and how they worshiped. He was crucified for it. Then he was martyred and propped up on a pedestal centuries later as the figurehead of a church that contradicts the very things that he was born to oppose. He did not come here to be worshiped as your God in the flesh. He came here to teach us discernment, brotherly love, and how to build an intimate, personal connection with God. He knew that we are all God in the flesh. He wanted you to discover that too. He challenged oppression through fearless righteousness, even as he was crucified. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Yeshua was a dangerous person. If your idol loved his fellow humans that put him to death in such a horrific way, then where is your love for humans that have done nothing but exist? God is not found within churches and politicians lining their pockets through the exploitation of intentionally uneducated workers and voters. God is not found within closing borders, harsher punishments, and isolating human beings from one another. God is found within the kindness that you show to yourself and to others. God's love is feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, and healing the hurt. God's love is protecting children, not sowing their psyches with seeds of fear, hatred, judgment, and obedience. God's love is inviting your neighbor to warm up by your hearth when they are suffering in the cold, not closing the door in their face. You want to complain about people hating you, but look at how you treat people that you perceive as different from you for the way that they look, where they come from, or the perspectives that they have. You are the kingdom of God and the gates of hell in one being. You help create heaven or hell on earth through your thoughts and your actions. They aren't places strictly reserved for the afterlife. They are the here and now. Why would you be welcome in a place of love when you consistently show that you do not have the capacity to hold love within your heart? You have kept yourself locked out of the kingdom and don't even realize it. Earth is the Garden of Eden, and we dominate and destroy her. It's us. I personally know God's love because I know the depth of the love within my heart for humanity and our beautiful planet. I want others to be able to feel it too. It defies the labels we place upon it. It defies the made-up rules we use to create suffering for ourselves here on earth. It defies the power corruption believes it has over the world and her people. I will not be silenced again. Authenticity is the highest vibration. Authenticity is truth. Truth is dangerous. Open your eyes, collective. It is time to awaken to our divinity and unite as one. It is okay to admit that you were wrong and you made mistakes. You are human in this life, and not a single one of us are perfect. We make the choices that we make based upon the information and knowledge that we have at the time. When you gain new knowledge, your choices should change. You should change. It is okay to admit that you were deceived. The most important part is that you see the truth and you decide to make the change. Illuminate the darkness so you may learn how to shine bright like the star you are at your spiritual core. It is okay to have fear about the unknown, but don't let it hold power over you. I know how scary and painful the healing process is, but you do not have to do it alone. We are doing this together as a cosmic family. We're doing it together as the human race. I am not telling you it will be easy, but I do know that it will be worth it. Have genuine trust in the Holy Spirit that exists inside of you by taking the leap of faith. Feel your feelings. Find your voice. Speak your truth. Stand up for humanity. Set your spirit free. This is what it takes to become a truly dangerous person. The world does not have to be this way if we do not want it to be. But the change starts with us. It's time. Thank you so much for listening to what I have to say. If this resonated with you at all, please be sure to hit the like button. Drop me a comment down below with your thoughts and perspectives. I would really love to read them and hear from you. If you would like to receive more content like this, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, I am so very grateful that you are here and we're sharing in this wild human experience together. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, week, month, year, and life. Remember to stay curious and question everything.